Okay, hello my TT Port stands, my Duang With You watchers and viewers. So I'm gonna be reacting to the second side story that they did for. I get when they do side stories usually for like ads. We already have seen the Dumble one from like the inhaler in the OST like MV reaction that I did as well. So this is gonna be like a shorter one because it's just this clip. But I'm curious to see like where this ends up playing into like somewhat of the timeline because I think the other one was actually whenever I think it's whenever the first time they go out to eat like together with Pei and Jamie, I think whenever they meet Shin's friend at that restaurant. I believe that's the first time. That's when that scene takes place, if I'm not mistaken, because it's whenever Shin's like, "Oh, give me your keys. Like, I'm gonna drive there," and oh yeah, either that or it might. I'm pretty sure it's that. It's pretty. I'm pretty sure that's when it is. Yeah. But so I'm wondering where this is gonna be because I think I saw, in the thumbnail you also saw Jamie and Bae here. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and watch.
ไอเจตนาไอปลาชัยพวกมึงป๊อตนี่หว่าอ๋อไม่ใช่อยากจะสักก็สักได้นะ
This
เว้ย
is after they get tattoo.
นี่ไงกูทำมาแล้วเนี่ย
แต่ร้องเป็นหมาเลยนะ
ชินอย่างนี้มึงก็โดนพี่สมัยโกนขนเลยดิใจเด็ดจัดไม่ดิกูว่าเป็นเลเซอร์ตามที่มึงแนะนำไงครับไอเจตนาเฮ้ยมึงแนะนำอะไรกันเนี่ยบอกกูบ้างดิระดับนักรบอย่างกูอ่ะมันต้องไม่ธรรมดาอยู่แล้วครับอย่าลีลาครับ กูก็แค่แนะนำไอ้ดวงไปว่า ถ้ามันอยากเลเซอร์ขนอ่ะมันก็ต้องไปกลาง
The ads I can't. But I mean, it makes sense with
ก็บอกเขาไป
Why
เลเซอร์ขนนะเว้ยต้องยกให้เขา
it makes sense with the story like of him like getting a tattoo.
ดีกูนี่ยกนิ้วให้อย่างนี้เลยสนใจดิถ้ามึงแอดไลน์เขาตอนนี้นะเว้ยมึงได้โปรเลเซอร์ขนหลักแร้ฟรีด้วยมึงแอดเลยกังนำคลินิกเนี่ยอุ้ยนี่ไงนี่โปรดีนะเนี่ยเฮ้ยเจ๋งเฟี้ยวเดี๋ยวไปกลับมาตัวเนียนเลย
No, because what was the point of that?
อะไรเปล่า
That's 100% TT just laughing.
อยู่ทำไมนะไป
Oh my god.
กูอยากเลเซอร์แล้วอ่ะ
Stop. So when did that so it was after they got the tattoo, but when after they got the tattoo? Was it No, when I wonder when was this timeline then? Cuz I mean clearly Shin and Duang are like on good equal-ish like ground of like he's like allowing him to do things and allowing him to be around him, you know? So I wonder if this is supposed to be whenever they're gonna go to like lunch again with that one girl, but then where is she here? Or is this a different day? I'm curious now. No, because he's wearing the black pants. Maybe it is that day. I don't know. That's why I would wonder where these are supposed to take place in between. But like I mentioned, I think I like when they're doing this like in a separate thing and not necessarily in the episode because it's not like being thrown in your face like and clearly like an ad, kind of like how the KFC one. Because to be honest with you, in the reaction for that episode, if you haven't already watched it, or if you have, I was literally saying like, oh, I'm like, this is why they're wearing red and white in this scene because they're moving on to like KFC and they're like name dropping it and then they're bringing out the like the food and everything and like eating it and that's like that's supposed to be like the ad and I'm like, okay, that's very much like they're trying to like somewhat play it in there because we know that Shin is a foodie, so like it's like, oh, they're like just having like a meal or whatever, and then also like the fact that I didn't mention it before, but if you guys have noticed that Shin, whenever he tries to get out of like a shy situation where like Duang does something and he like gets like or he does something and Duang's just like like and he starts freaking out, he's usually for the most part says like, oh, I'm hungry to like like to deter like that attention from what he just said onto this new like topic. Like he's definitely like trying to change the topic to like remove the focus from that what he just said or what just happened or whatever. Like so it's like, okay, it's like playing still within their characters but throwing in an ad while doing it because like honestly like, I really enjoyed that moment before it because it was Duang singing the Kirin no, is it Yeah, Keating, that him singing his song in the, or Nunu singing the OST, that clip from Cutie Pie. So I was like, oh, like I like this, and I'm like, this is cute. But then like Duang singing to Shin, and like basically like these lyrics are very much representative of their relationship right now, especially in Duang's eyes, of like maybe, well, I feel like both of them, to be honest, because Duang like has always said like, I feel like I'm not good enough, but I'm trying my best and trying to use like my effort to like win over Shin. And I feel like Shin also kind of at times feels that same way, but like not as much as Duang, and understands that Duang feels like that, or not yet at that point. I think, oh, it's about to happen. So it's kind of playing into that scene of whenever, you know, he's like, oh, like you still think you're not the best. Like, why? Why do you think that? Or, like, you keep like telling yourself that. And he's like, oh, it's because people keep telling me that. And he's like, what? He's like, I want you to see the good things about yourself. So it's kind of like they're both kind of the same in a way. Like, obviously, like Shin acts like a lot more cooler, and Duang is like a little cute patootie, but like kind of silly and like more open, like, and very like, I feel like he's very sure of himself in that aspect, that he knows like, or maybe he thinks like that's like a disadvantage for himself, whereas like Shin is just like, okay, like why do you think that, like even though he might also have like flaws as well, but it's like the play on that into the getting into that ad. So but like I said, I kind of just don't like that they just like, oh, it's like it clear on, like you can clearly see it's an ad, and I was just like, oh, like it kind of like ruined the cutie moment that they just had, because he's just like, oh, I'm hungry, and it's like, oh, I ordered KFC, and I'm just like, oh, he's name dropping, that means there's an ad. But yeah, that's why I said like that they did the Dumble one like separately, and then this one is also separately. But I'm also just like, because why are we bringing up the like it, I know like that's what the clinic is for, but why is like Shin just like looking at him, like at Duang, while they're having this like kind of like almost like thinking about like maybe I should go and do this too, and I'm just like, for what? Like you, do you guys get what I mean? So I'm just like, I was like, that's a little, I was like reading a little too much into that, but then also like Duang, like the wink, I was like, the wink killed me. I was like, that was a murder point, because I've been seeing so many clips of TT and Poor like on my feed, like I mentioned before. But they had like they had like 2 events yesterday, or TT had an event yesterday with like a Crocs like drop or something, and good lord, like the visuals that he was serving in his he looked really good in his outfit, right? But like all of the people, like all the fans that were like outside like waiting like for him to either leave from the event or go to the event, and he was like pulling all like the facials, like he was pulling all these expressions, and I was just like, good lord, I'm like, I'm being attacked right now. Like usually I'm like 100% like more so like focused like on Poor, like I do like TT as well, but like I always end up having like somewhat more of like a favorite of the two at times for when it comes to a ship, right? But so like Poor usually is the one who attacks me, but like TT of like has been coming in hot, like really badly, like I feel like very attacked, and I'm just like, whoa, I'm like, what happened? I'm like, you were a little cutie patootie before, and like now like we're seeing a whole different side to him, which like I like, but I'm also like, whoa, like I'm being attacked right now. Like I don't know if it's just because like of obviously he's like grown up and he's like matured, so like he's definitely like, you know, growing up and like changing, right? But also like maybe because I think like I said, he was always like, oh my god, like my little cutie patootie, because I've always seen him like as a little baby, as I should, because he's like on the younger side. But now I'm just like, whoa, I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you like just throwing us all in our face? And I'm just like, I feel very attacked. I'm like, I feel very overwhelmed. But yeah, there was that event, and then the Flex event that they did, the radio one, where afterwards they were like kind of doing like a fan meet event thing where they're like kind of surrounded by fans and just walking and saying goodbye, I guess. But TT like has been doing like these like there's a specific like expression that he keeps doing where like he kind of like smirks, but then like licks his like teeth or whatever and acts like he's acting really like like he's acting really like cool, and I'm just like, and a little bit like, oh, like rizzing up people, and I'm like, good lord, I'm like, sit down please, I'm like, I need you to sit down. So that's why I was just like, I died at this part, which I kind of want to rewatch, just that. Yeah, what is this? Like, why is he like, oh, like thinking about like, should I go too?
โปรดีนะเนี่ยเฮ้ยเจ๋งเฟี้ยวเดี๋ยวไปกลับมาตัวเนียนเลย
like
ดีนะ
just no, because he over here be acting nonchalant like he don't like it, but like good lord.
อะไรเปล่าไปละไปอยู่ทำไมเนี่ย
เอาปะกูอยากเลเซอร์แล้วอ่ะ
Like good lord. But yeah, so an attack that I did not need. So, but like I said, I do like that they're doing these a little bit separately and just doing it on YouTube. So if you like want to like, if you're curious of what it's for, you can watch and still kind of give you somewhat like still playing within their characters and kind of like throw like making it seem like how it fits in with what's like happened so far. Like so here it's like the tattoo. The other one was with just like because you know Duang is like always being attacked by Shin and like how cute he is and like all that, and like if he ends up reciprocating like certain feelings or like showing like interest, then he like uses that to like calm himself down. So it's just like it's fitting with every like story and not like just, you know, it's yes it is getting like not well here it's like, you know, it's not being in the actual like episode, so it's like okay, it's clearly you can tell it's like an ad, but they're trying to make it like a cute thing, whereas like if it's an episode it's like definitely like them kind of throwing it in your face at times. But here it's like okay, like we know what it is, like we know it's like not them like beating around the bush in a way, you know. So it's like okay, like don't expect too much, you know, of the like of a side story because it is quote unquote like an ad and like a promotion thing. But it's still like I said, I still prefer this because you know what it is and you're not like oh, it's still like also showing you the timeline of the show and showing you like what very much like true to what the characters would do, if that makes sense. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and I shall see you in the next one.